Hello everyone, it is great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. I know my kitchen counter looks like a tornado hit. It did actually. I got everything out and I haven't organized anything. But you know what? I'm going to keep it real in the kitchen. I'm not a professional. I'm just not. Probably some of you guys out there are, or maybe not, else you wouldn't be watching me. But I thank each and every one of you who have joined me this evening, because guess what we're going to make? Funfetti Whoopie pies. In Pennsylvania, they're known as gobs. And I have made pumpkin gobs with you. I've made chocolate cake gobs with you. And tonight, funfetti ones. So here we go. So what you're going to need for this recipe, for the cake part, 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 teaspoons baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1 cup granulated sugar, 1/2 cup salted butter softened, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 3/4 cup buttermilk, and 1/2 cup of rainbow sprinkles. It says sprinkles, jimmies, or non-perils. Come on in, Lindsay. I like that shirt. That looks nice on you.
Thanks.
So let's get started. First, what I'm going to do is make my buttermilk because I don't have any. So to make my buttermilk, I need 3/4 cups of milk. So I'm going to do 3/4 tablespoons of vinegar. Just about, that looks to be about 3/4 tablespoons. Smells heavenly. And 3/4 cup, fill it to the 3/4 cup line. And I'm just going to let that set for about 5 minutes. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. You can let it set 5 to 10 minutes. I'll do that while I'm getting all my ingredients measured out and ready. So first what we're going to do is preheat the oven to 375 degrees. We're going to line 2 baking sheets with parchment paper. In a medium bowl, whisk flour, baking soda, and salt until combined. So that is 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. We'll need 1 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and let's whisk that together. Once it's all mixed together, set it aside. Next, we're going to beat the butter and sugar together for a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. So that was 1 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of softened salted butter, which is 1 stick. I probably beat mine for about 3 minutes. Next, we're going to go ahead and add the egg and the vanilla extract and beat again. So 1 egg and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You're going to want to have a spatula ready to scrape down the sides of the bowl. You don't want to waste any of the sugary goodness. So what we're going to do is add a little flour mixture first. Let's beat it again, and then we're going to alternate milk, flour, milk, flour. Take a break, scrape down the sides of the bowl again. Get all that powder off of there from the flour. It's not quite the consistency of cookie dough, but it's thicker than cake batter. So I'm just going to beat it one last little time. That is excellent. Excellent, I must say. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to set these aside because this is going to be like a little treat for me. Very good. Next, we got to add in our sprinkles. I'm using sprinkles. You can use whatever you want to add in. And it says to add in 1/2 cup of a rainbow sprinkles. So I'm going to see, do I think I need a whole 1/2 cup? Oh well, go ahead. You only live once, right? Now this time you're going to want to mix it with a spoon. You don't want to crush up your sprinkles. It says using a small scoop to drop batter onto the parchment paper, spacing them 3 inches apart. We're going to bake it for about 10 to 12 minutes. This is about 1.5 tablespoons, so till I fill it up, I'm dropping about probably 2 tablespoons on, maybe a little more. It says to have them 2 to 3 inches apart. So I'm going to start with 1 tray. I don't think they take as long if I just have 1 tray in at a time versus 2. It's going to take you longer the whole way around, but I just think they turn out better that way. I'm going to shape these a little bit. Maybe not. I'm going to start with 10 minutes. See what happens. Well, I'll tell you what, that is pretty darn good. When we make the frosting, I'm going to make it a few different colors. I think it'll really make these pop, you know? This I'm making for kids, grandkids, or myself, not sure. I haven't decided if I'm going to share it with the grandkids yet. We'll see. But I can freeze these. One last, this is it folks. This is it, no more. Good, 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 good. Okay, I left mine in for 10 minutes. That's all the more, because to me they look done. I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit. Let me see what the bottom looks like. Yep, that'll be perfect. I'm gonna let it cool for about 5 minutes on the baking sheet and then on a wire rack, and then we'll make the frosting and get ready to have some delicious Funfetti gobs / whoopie pies. Time to make the frosting. Some of these have cooled, and as you can see, some of them look nicer than others. Now they are a little brown on the bottom, but I think they're done properly, and I will do the taste test. Some of them though, you can tell I was getting a little impatient, so try to make them look nice if you're going to serve them somewhere. If it's just for the house, who cares? So what I'm going to do is make the frosting, and I'm going to make it into 2 different colors, a light pink and a light blue. I just think that'll add such a nice touch to this. So first what you're going to need for the frosting is 1 cup of salted butter softened, which is 2 sticks, 4 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/4 teaspoon almond extract is optional. I happen to have some of that, so I'm going to use it. 1/4 teaspoon coconut extract is optional. I don't have that, so I'm just not going to use it. 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 to 4 tablespoons of either heavy cream or milk. I have milk. I'm going to use that. So let's get started. First, we're going to beat our butter in a large bowl using an electric mixer until light and fluffy. And they say here to beat it for about 4 minutes. I managed to do this for about 3 minutes. Mine's light and creamy. I'm not going to keep on beating it. So next, what we're going to do is add about 1 cup in at a time of the powdered sugar. And just do it on low to medium speed. All right, my frosting is getting nice and thick. I'm going to start with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. And I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of milk. I don't like a soft, gooey frosting on gobs. I like mine to be a little bit firm. So I'm just going to put a little bit in at a time. I'll tell you what, I only used a little over 1 tablespoon. To me, that is sufficient. Now mine only made about 11 gobs, 22 cookies, but 11 gobs. It says here it should make 12. So if I would have used 2 tablespoons for each one of these, then I would have gotten 12. But as you can see, I got a little carried away and sloppy. These are massive, so. I think this is going to be a little too much frosting. And I'm shocked that I'm saying that. Maybe not. So I'm just going to put a few drops. I want a light blue. See what that does. And a light pink. Yes, this is nice and fluffy frosting. Nice and fluffy. Look at that. There we go. Now remember, I only put 1 tray in at a time, so it might have taken a little bit longer with 2. You can store these in an airtight container on the countertop for a few days, or in the fridge for up to a week. You can also freeze them, just wrap them individually in freezer wrap, put them in an airtight container, thaw them out. They'll probably last for about 3 months. Let's just see. There's what it looks like inside. Very good. Very good. All right, Mr. Miller, it is your turn to try one of the Funfetti Whoopie pies, technically a gob. Here is half of one. I saved you half.
Where did they come up with whoopie pie?
That's a good question. It's gobs, isn't it, hon?
It's gobs.
I know. Who messed with it? Probably it was originally whoopie pies in Pennsylvania, called it a gob.
Well, we're right and they're wrong.
I'm thinking that maybe it says 10 to 12 minutes, but the bottom gets a little crispy. I'm thinking that maybe 9 minutes would have been enough baking. What do you think? Or do you think that doesn't matter?
Doesn't really matter.
Seemed like you were going to say more.
It's just a little crunchy inside, but it tastes good.
Tastes good. So I think maybe I'd bake it for 9 minutes.
As long as the rest of it's baked at 9 minutes.
That's just the question. Would the rest of it be baked at 9 minutes? The bottom gets a little... What's going on with our lights? The bottom gets a little crunchy, but it's still good. But the rest of it's nice and soft inside. The frosting, though, got really fluffy. And that is coming from beating it for 4 minutes. Just the butter. Before you do anything else.
Well, yes, they are good. I would recommend them.
Douglas, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, what would you rate that Funfetti gob?
I'd rate it a mess.
It is a mess.
I would rate it a 9.
A 9. That's pretty good for Doug. I'd give it a 9 too. I think it's pretty darn tasty, and I think kids would like it.
I think you need to smear on more icing.
Well, you know what? I could have, but I was thinking, do we need that much?
No.
But there is leftover, so.
Get them.
Thanks for joining us here once again on Dee's Delights. I hope you have a fabulous day, everyone. See you soon.